My name is Brandon Walker, and I host the Brandon Walker College Football Show with Brandon Walker. You are currently watching the Brandon Walker Show with Brandon Walker on the Brandon Walker Sports Network on the 49th floor of the Brandon Walker Towers in Brandon Walker, New York. It's good to see everybody. It is Thursday. That means it's our last show before we get into the gloriousness that is college football this weekend. Hello to everybody. And I have Baylor tonight, -3 on the road at West Virginia. I love it. Sometimes you talk yourself into a spot. You're like, oh, you know what? This spot, that spot, this spot, that spot. Occasionally, you need to look at it and say, who's the better team? I think Baylor's the better football team. Every time West Virginia has had a chance to do something this year, they've lost. They're losers. Losers lose. Hello, Scott Lambert and Tiger Hood. Top 5 sandwiches, grilled cheese, club sandwich, Reuben. I forgot sandwiches. Reuben's the number one sandwich. Reuben is the best sandwich. That's just a fact. That's an objective fact. And I don't really give a fuck about what Rome thinks. All right? The Reuben is the best sandwich we have on this earth. Will there be a stream tonight? David Botha, yes, there will be. Brad Haynes, not dog spot, not liver spot, my spot. Hello, Brad Haynes, Joe Mama, Jordan Johnson, Tom W. Cheesesteak is not a top 5 sandwich. Cheesesteak's overrated. It just is. Caden Boswick. Will this game get Neil Brown fired at West Virginia? I don't think so. I've heard West Virginia's not going to be able to fire Neil Brown because of financial reasons. Best cold weather food? I vote pot roast, says Jeremy. I vote chili. Chili's the best cold weather food. Krista Santi, Luke UT86, Smitty version 2.0. Poon Soup. Poon Soup. That's where we are as a country. We got a guy named Poon Soup here. Remember secpoon.com? That was a thing that happened in the early 2000s. Joshua B. Lee Harvey Bongswald. Poon Soup was the worst name on show history for about 3 seconds. Kyle Bowser says Lane Kiffin to Oklahoma. No, Kyle Bowser. Lane Kiffin's not going to coach Oklahoma. That's wishful thinking. He's going to coach Auburn. Joseph Gonzalez. Are UCLA and USC destined to play as undefeated matchup? Maybe not. We'll see. Dawson Gentry. Nikki Shore. Tyler Bennett. Fried bologna or fried spam? Fried bologna. Fried bologna is an elite food. A top-tier food. If you've never had a fried bologna sandwich, fuck you. Everybody says, oh, Brandon, you never had peanut butter. You never had PB&J. PB&J is a fucking kid sandwich. Fried bologna, put some hair on your chest. My 2 go-to sandwiches as a kid, my mom would make grilled cheese and fried bologna sandwich. God damn it, I love a fried bologna sandwich. Andrew Hagan says Whataburger is the worst fast food burger. And what that tells you is Andrew Hagan is the dumbest motherfucker I've ever met in my life. Andrew Hagan bumps into walls when he walks. Andrew Hagan is the Marty Mush of his town. That's how dumb he is. Is Auburn the best available job right now, says Trey Smith. This is a question from YouTube. This is a clip you might be able to use, TJ. I'm going to say it again. Trey Smith says, is Auburn the best available job right now that is available in college football? And the answer is yes. It is the best available job because you can win a national title at Auburn. You can get big-time recruits at Auburn. They have a system that is going to get you big-time recruits. They know how to go out and get guys, and you can't win titles without guys. Auburn is an elite job in this country. It is the best available job. The problem with the Auburn job is it's also the worst job in the country right now. It's the job where the boosters have the most say. It's the job where the boosters are the most temperamental. It's the job where the boosters want to have their dick sucked all the time, and they want to be told how great they are, and they want to be able to point down from their little luxury box and say, see that down there? I did that, y'all. I talked to that coach. I did that. Well, that ain't how fucking college football works, okay? So while it's the best job with the best resources, the best fan base, the best recruiting at your disposal, Auburn's an incredible job. Jordan-Hare Stadium's amazing. It also could be the worst job because the same people that make it amazing make it terrible. That's Auburn football. You can print that shit. Gene Chizik and Gus Malzahn wanted Auburn, so that makes sense. Matt Schelling. Tyler O'Connor says what Walker is saying. Thank you. Rob Wooden says Zaxby's is overrated. Zaxby's is the most average place in America. It is aggressively average. It is the Barstool Nate of chicken tender restaurants. Culver's the best burger? I've had Culver's. It's in the Midwest. I had it last year in Indiana. The problem with Culver's is it's a lot like every other burger. They got butter burgers, right, or something like that. It's like Freddy's frozen custard down in Georgia. Nebraska is the best job? No, Tyler O'Connor, it's not. If this were 1995, Nebraska would be the best job, but it's not. The best job available is Auburn, followed by Wisconsin. But Wisconsin doesn't have the bullshit Auburn has, so Wisconsin might be the best job. Your job rankings currently are number 1, Auburn, number 2, Wisconsin, number 3, Nebraska, and then number 4, Georgia Tech, number 5, Arizona State, number 6, Colorado. That's your job rankings. That is your job rankings. 888-STOOL-22. I have 5 gambling picks. Go ahead and vet my calls if you can. I have 5 gambling picks that I won't. I lied. I have 6. I have 6 gambling picks that rise above. I do want that Auburn thing clipped. That's my favorite thing I've done recently.
Restart this segment now.
I have 6 gambling picks. This is a Brandon Walker College Football Show, and I'm about to tell you my favorite plays on the Barstool Sportsbook app this weekend. Sometimes I have 8. Sometimes I have 9. Sometimes I have 10. I have 6 this time. These are my 6 favorite plays. Sometimes you let the bookmaker, you let the odds maker tell you. You let them tell you what to play. You don't lean on your own understanding. You lean on your understanding of what they're telling you to do. I believe Oklahoma State's a better team than TCU. I don't believe in TCU's big wins that much. Kansas is a nice story, but that's their biggest win. It's okay. They also wanted Oklahoma. Oklahoma's bad. Oklahoma State went on the road already and beat Baylor. However, TCU is a 4-point favorite at home over Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State number 18, TCU number 13. Why? Don't worry about why. Worry about how you're going to pick up the money when you bet TCU -4. TCU -4 is my play of the week. They're just telling you to bet it. There shouldn't be 4 points difference in these two teams. TCU -4. I don't know what the spread is. I didn't write. I just wrote down North Texas. I loved it earlier this week. I love it now. North Texas. USC money line at Utah. I understand the reasons people would pick Utah. They're usually a great defensive team. They're at home. It's a very tough place to play. It's where dreams go to die in the Pac-12. And we've seen a lot of teams go in there and come out beaten and bloodied. But they've lost 2 games this year to Anthony Richardson, to DTR, 2 mobile quarterbacks. Neither one's as good as Caleb Williams. USC is real. USC goes in there and wins against Utah this Saturday night. Alabama -7. When's the last time you saw Alabama play like shit twice in a row? And how many times have we seen a team go 5-0, 6-0 in the SEC and think they're incredible, they're hot stuff, and here comes Alabama, the measuring stick, and this is the biggest game of our lives, and Alabama cuts your fucking heart out. Alabama -7. Okay, just have to send a text. My wife is coming. Go to second floor. Going out to dinner with my wife tonight. It's gonna be nice. Sometimes you have to plug your nose and make a play you don't want to make. Clemson's a better team than Florida State. Why is this line plummeting? Why is Florida State only a 3.5-point dog at home? Don't matter. Bet them. Florida State plus 3.5 against Clemson. Just suck it up and go. Suck it up and go. And Ole Miss -15 against Auburn. Lane Kiffin's about to impress his future bosses at Auburn. He will be the Auburn coach next season. And he's about to destroy Auburn right now. Going to beat him by 30. Ole Miss -15. And after the game, Lane Kiffin has some interesting meetings with some people in orange and blue. I'm not bringing in the missus. There's no chance that's happening. Katie has vivid instructions. She has instructions to put where to put my wife. Brandon, give me a wrestler to be for Halloween. NWO Hogan, Macho Man, or HBK? I mean, all three of those are great. NWO Hogan. Nobody's going to be NWO Hogan. There might be some Hogans, but no NWO Hogans. Plus, you look like somebody who said the N-word a lot. So,
should I be Mankind?
You should be Mankind every day. Not even for Halloween.
Should I do all 4 in one day?
All 4 of the wrestlers. No, you should be all 3 faces of Foley.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. You should be. You should start the day as Mankind. No, you should start the day as Cactus Jack.
Yeah.
Then become Mankind. Then become Dude Love.
And then go home as Mick.
And then go home as Mick Foley. Yeah. That would be awesome. 888 Stool 22. That's a great. Nobody does evolving or changing Halloween costumes. Nobody does like starts the day as one person and like imagine if you were a really smart Star Wars fan, you started your day as Anakin and ended as Darth Vader. And you were just an asshole like halfway through.
On some nerd shit.
I'm on that nerd shit.
Yeah.
I'm on that nerd shit. The experts were terrible without you. Well, we play next week. We make our season debut next week. And frankly, the dozen has suffered without me. It's not fun right now. Like Minahan's not fun. He's too mean and he's not very good. The shows haven't been entertaining. Minahan's a great trivia player, but he doesn't know how to entertain within the trivia universe like I do. He said he's the heart and soul of the show. Well, he's never won a tournament match. I'm Brandon Walker. It's my show. And I'm going to bring the fun back to the dozen when I play next week. All right. 888 Stool 22. We open the phone lines. Let's see what we got here. Yes. We go to Max in El Paso. Hello, Max.
Hey, how's it going? Just calling about Miami -7 this weekend. It sounds disgusting after how they've been the past few weeks, but after a heartbreaking loss against UNC, I think they have a real opportunity to actually show up for themselves and look forward to next season.
You have a small dog and a big dog in the background?
I do have a smaller dog and a bigger dog, yes.
'Cause I felt like I heard a high-pitched yelp and then a deep, almost bass type bark.
So I have a rescue mutt. She's about 25 pounds, and then I have a Bernedoodle puppy who's about 50 right now.
I thought about getting a Bernedoodle. Are you concerned that they don't live very long?
No, I've had big dogs my entire life, and 10 years I felt like been a good number for all of them, and they've all lived about that long.
You're exactly right about Miami. As bad as Miami has been, Virginia Tech's been worse. And 7-point favorite, I think it's one of those where you hold your nose and take it. I like that pick too, but I've been burned on Miami. In fact, I've told people around here, if I try to bet Miami this week, hit me in the face. So I'm not going to do it, but I love it. 888 Stool 22. We go to line 2. Thomas in Chicago is getting earlier and earlier. He's starting to learn the rhythm of the show. Go ahead, Thomas.
Hey, Brian, how you doing?
Great. What's up?
Sorry I do not have office trivia for you, but I do have 2 college football questions for you. The first one is, I know how you just said how Auburn is like the best, but also the worst job. Mm-hmm. What do you think is like more best worst jobs, or the opposite end of like the worst best job? Meaning like if you understand what I'm trying to get at, like what's like the best worst job,
okay,
and then the worst best job.
The best worst job is going to be somewhere where you can't win, but if you just give them competitive, and you're going to be in a great area. Like I think Colorado's an awesomely good bad job. You're never going to win at Colorado for a long period of time. But goddamn, it's beautiful out there, and if you win 7 games a year, you're a fucking hero. Like I think that's a great bad job. That's a phenomenal question, by the way. What's another good bad job?
Annabelle?
No, because there's nothing fun about getting your dick kicked in all the time. Georgia Tech could be a decent bad job because we think it's a bad job, but it's really not. It's really a good job dressed up as a bad job right now, so that's not a good one either. I thought Colorado was a good one that I said. Great question. I got to work on that.
Arizona, maybe?
Say it again?
Arizona?
I swear to God, my mind went just right to Arizona right there. That's not a bad one. To either Arizona or Arizona State. Not great jobs, but, like, if you win 8 games, you're a hero and you're in a good spot. I hung up on him, and he had another question. God damn it, I didn't mean to do that. I did not mean to do that.
God damn it.
God damn it. I'm so fucking stupid.
How was your peanut butter experience?
I mean, it's just what is like it tastes like Reese's stuff and everything, right? So it wasn't anything really new, but it was new. I didn't like when she really loaded the sandwich up. I hated the texture. I hated that, but
Yeah.
it tastes fine.
You don't think you'll become
And the crunchy
spoon?
peanut butter just felt like it had peanuts in it.
Correct. You do know peanut butter is just made of peanuts, right?
But I thought peanut butter. Okay, all right, you're right. Shout out JD for making that possible. Oh, we gotta go.
Yeah.
We gotta go buy a categories game for me and a categories game for him, so we can play categories together.
Okay.
All right. Have to do that this weekend. Is wrestling canceled? Why? Because people. We have a sales floor that doesn't know how to sell. Got a YouTube channel of 46,000 subscribers, more than 80% of the shows here. Got a channel that is able to generate 300,000-400,000 views regularly, and nothing. Can't sell it. But we can.
Get them.
No. We got to pretend other shows are just doing great. Okay. No, just Mark and Philly. Go ahead, Mark. Save me.
Shout out wrestling. Bring wrestling back today. Now on to football. I gave you 2 picks earlier in the week, but I'm going to give you 2 more. I think these are my 2 favorite picks of the week.
All right.
Syracuse -3.5 against NC State. I'm not sure NC State is good, and I think the bookmakers feel the same way with Syracuse being a 3.5-point favorite here. I know NC State's defense is solid, but their offense was putrid before their quarterback got hurt. I think they have serious problems, and I think down the stretch they might end up being one of the more disappointing teams in the country. And then with Syracuse, I think Syracuse has a really explosive offense. Sean Tucker, who's one of the best Twitter follows in the country, and you got Garrett Schrader, who's really been efficient, not turning the ball over for Syracuse. I think Syracuse is the better team here, should be ranked higher, and that's why they're favored. And then the other one's a plug your nose play for me. I hate Penn State. There's not much more I hate in this world than Penn State fans around the city of Philadelphia, where it's about 5 or 6 hours away from Happy Valley, and they act like that's Philadelphia's college football team. But I like Penn State to cover the touchdown this week. I'm not sure Penn State's a top 5 or 10 team, but I'm pretty damn sure that Michigan's not. They ain't played nobody, Paul. I think Michigan's got some serious problems once they start playing these real teams in the Big Ten. So give me Penn State +7, and I think they're a live dog in that game.
I like both of those picks, and here's the thing about Penn State and Michigan. We really don't know anything about either team. The best win out of either of those teams is Penn State beating Purdue on the road, which is a pretty good win. But outside of that, they have nothing really to hang their hat on. But Michigan has nothing to hang their hat on, and they've got the number 5 beside them. We know nothing about these teams. So if we know nothing about these teams, why is there a 7-point difference between them? What are you seeing that I'm not seeing? I know Michigan probably has better skill players, better receivers, but their quarterback's never started a big-time game like this. He's never started in his life a big-time college football game like this, and Sean Clifford has. I don't know if Penn State's going to win the game. 7 points is crazy. It's fucking crazy. I love that pick. Thank you. And I get when Mark was talking, and people wanted a pick from somebody. They said in the chat, "Where's the Coochie? Where's the Coochie in Toronto? Where's the Coochie?" Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Coochie in Toronto. Go ahead, Mr. Cooch.
Thanks for the introduction, as always, Brandon. I got 2 plays for you if you're willing to hear them tonight.
Go ahead.
All right, we're going back to the well. We're fading MTSU again, but we're going to go with the over 67 in MTSU, Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky doesn't have Bailey Zappi anymore, but the transfer QB is putting up solid numbers, slinging the rock around.
Yeah.
He's averaging 7.25 yards per attempt so far this season, and I think they're going to be able to take advantage of a very weak Middle Tennessee team that we've been taking advantage of so far a little bit.
There are three quarterbacks. There are three quarterbacks in the country. There are three quarterbacks in the country over 2,000 yards. One is Will Rogers at Mississippi State. One is Michael Penix at Washington. The other is Austin Reed at Western Kentucky. Get to know the name.
You betcha.
He can throw it. He can do it. And this is a good pick. Go ahead, Takuchi. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No pleasure. It's always nice talking. And then the other one is we're going back to sides. I like Eastern Carolina -5.5 against Memphis. I think that end of the game situation for Memphis is just a dick kick they can't really get past. And on the other side, Eastern Carolina's defense is quietly pretty impressive, especially against the run. And the secondary, on the other hand, is not the greatest. But I think they can get margin on attack. Memphis is going to be deflated. They should have won that last week's game. And these are just kids. We always say it, but it's important to remind yourselves in these type of spots.
You know, Dan says it. I don't say these are just kids. They're 18 to 22 years old. They can fight wars. We can talk shit about them. So, Takuchi, I must say, is one of the best gamblers I've come across. I DM'd the motherfucker on Twitter last week because I wasn't here for the show last week. I DM'd him on Twitter and said, hey, I need a winner. You know what he did? Gave me a fucking winner. So, thank you very much, Takuchi in Toronto. I believe his winner last week was UAB against MTSU. So, he loves going against MTSU. 888-STOOL-22. And we don't – she was supposed to be here at 6:18 at 6:23. So, yes, TJ?
Can you believe it's already week 7?
It always goes fast.
Isn't that?
It always goes fast. Oh, they're Katie? Okay. Have you ever seen my wife, TJ?
I want to say in like 2019 you might have brought her around one day, but that's it.
Okay. All right. Well, pretty crazy, isn't it? Pretty crazy. You can say it. It's pretty crazy.
She must have known something we didn't.
she bet on a winner is what she did.
Yeah.
She bet on a winner.
She took a flyer and
she
and
did.
paid out.
She you know what? She put it all in like red 23.
Right, yeah.
And she put everything there. And
Listen, somebody wins. Every time a roulette wheel spins, somebody hits.
And there somehow that wheel, it's spun a lot.
Dude, you go to a 50-50 at a ball game.
Yeah. Somebody's got to win it.
Somebody has to win.
888-STOOL-22. We go to line 5. That's where Jeremy is in Ohio. Go ahead, Jeremy.
What's going on, Brandon? I got a real quick recruiting hypothetical for you, but real quick, just to give Mississippi State a compliment. You guys may have the best natural grass field. I don't know why, but just watching it on TV, it is.
I know why.
Beautiful.
I know why. We have a terrific turf management program at Mississippi State. I don't remember the guy that runs it, but he's a turf management guy, and we have the best grass field in college football. You are exactly right. Continue.
Yeah, there's nothing like that Bermuda. But my hypothetical question for you is, if you could only recruit from one state, but it can't be Texas, it can't be Cali, and it can't be Florida or Georgia, where would it be?
Okay. 3 states come to mind that are great. The first is New Jersey. The second is Ohio. The third is Louisiana. Louisiana is just some of the greatest players. It didn't even go to LSU, like Ed Reed, and then and the ones that did go to LSU, obviously. Who's the guy? The big time Landon Collins, I think, went to Alabama, but he's from Louisiana. There was a big time defensive player a couple years ago that went to Alabama instead of LSU. Louisiana's loaded. Ohio's loaded. New Jersey's loaded. Those would be my 3 in that order.
I like it. Yeah, I'd maybe throw Pennsylvania and Maryland in there maybe, but yeah.
I don't know that Maryland gets close, at least in my mind. Pennsylvania does. And then what are the ones you took off the board? You took California, Texas, Georgia, and Florida?
Yeah.
Those are the 4 big ones. I mean, and Georgia is a lot for not being nearly as big or as populous as any of the others. It's a hell of a talent producer too. So yeah, good question. I like that. 888-STOOL-22. Hello. You got my clothes? Okay. 888-STOOL-22. We go to line 6. I need you to vet some more calls there, Teach. That's Brandon in Wichita. I love the state of Oklahoma. Go ahead, Brandon.
Hello, Brandon.
Hello, Brandon.
This might be my last call of the year, depending on what happens on Saturday.
Yeah.
I called in earlier and was talking shit about Texas, and
yeah.
I was posting on dumb things on Twitter for weeks before, and boy, they've really just gone back and strung me up with those. So,
well, credit to you for calling anyway. Credit to you for calling now, because a lot of times we say some dumb things on Twitter and on call-in shows when we believe one thing, and then the season happens, and buddy, it doesn't go well.
Yeah, there's a part of me that wanted to delete it and just not worry about it, but I can't. I just have to take my licks. And I just wanted to say, as maybe the final call of the year, I am a newer Oklahoma fan. I'm a newer college football fan just from the last couple of years, maybe 2020, okay? So I don't have a lot of the emotional baggage that these lifelong fans have when we're talking about college football teams.
Yeah.
I think Oklahoma, you can write off this season, obviously. There's no excuse for scoring 0 points against Texas. There's no excuse for getting mollywopped by TCU.
Mollywopped is a good word.
The defense is just as bad as it was last year.
Without the good offense.
Just hasn't done anything to fix it.
Yeah.
Whatever he could do, I don't know. And I don't know. I don't know what Oklahoma's going to do. I think all the fan base kind of looks at Nebraska and thinks, oh, no, is that me in 10 years? I don't know if it is or not, but
you're
down right now.
You're down bad.
The whole fan base is, I think. Other than the Sunshine Pumpers, we're down.
Well, I love when a great program, and Oklahoma's a great program, they're a top 5 to 6 program in the country. I love when they go through just a little down period because it just destroys them. But you guys are Oklahoma. It won't be long. Brent Venables is a good coach. He's going to recruit very well. He's going to hit the transfer portal hard. You'll be right back next year. I am enjoying Oklahoma being down right now, but it won't last long. You're too good. Thank you very much for the call. 888-STOOL-22. I'm going to announce, and I never do this, my next 3 calls are line 7, line 8, line 9. I've got Jason in Houston. I have Josh in Missouri. And I have JD in St. Louis coming up in 3 calls. That is my next 3 calls. So everybody get ready. I'm letting you know he's not on deck. He's in the hole. Jason in Houston, go ahead.
Brandon, what's good, my brother?
How you doing?
I'm pretty good, man. Pretty good. I'm really big on giving people their flowers. So I ran into you like on some random shit after Pat's show ended. They brought me into your shit, and you're fucking hilarious, bro. So
thank you.
I put all my partners and shit on, and we've been fucking with you tough.
Thank you, man.
So
I appreciate that.
Wanted to say that, but to get all that shit out of the way, fuck all that. Everybody, have people forgot that Bama still runs fucking college football, bro?
Yeah.
I'm hearing all of this. Last year it was fucking Georgia. This year, Ohio State. Fuck Ohio State. Yeah. And listen, we still got the number 1 and the number 2 pick in the fucking NFL draft. Have people forgotten that? You know what I'm saying? Like Bryce Young and Will Anderson are still the 2 best players in college football.
Yeah.
And now we the fucking 3rd best team in the country?
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't get it, bro.
Well, I get it. I get why you're the number 3 team in the country, because you played poorly against Texas A&M. But here's the thing. There's playing poorly, and then there's playing poorly enough to lose, and Alabama hasn't done that yet. And further, Tennessee is playing Alabama this week, and everybody's up Tennessee's butt right now, right? Everybody's saying Tennessee, Tennessee, Tennessee. When's the last time you saw Alabama play bad twice in a row? You can't answer that question. Nobody can answer that question. It hasn't happened in a long, long time. And how many times in the SEC do we see a team get pumped up and get excited, and they're about to go up against the measuring stick Alabama, and then Alabama just walks in their building and cuts their throat out or cuts their heart out? That's what's going to happen this week, in my opinion. And, yeah, when Alabama, and last year's a good example, they can struggle in the regular season, and Saban doesn't bat an eye. He doesn't care, because he knows when it comes to the postseason, he's the best postseason coach in America. I like when Alabama loses. I mean, it shows that they're vulnerable, but people are acting like they're not 6-0 and they're not undefeated and they're not still loaded. This does feel like people are jumping on them and trying to bury them too fast. I agree with you.
Absolutely. And I think, to your point, you made a great point last week, or it might have been the week prior. We have had some struggles, on the road.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think we've covered, 5 out of the last 6 games on the road. So, and with Henry Hook and them, they clicking on all cylinders and shit right now. So that it is kind of scary, but I think this is the game that we come in and remind motherfuckers that we're Alabama. I think Bryce could have played last week.
Yeah.
But we thought we were gonna beat the fuck out of Texas A&M. Let's be honest, they suck.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know what Jalen was doing out there. I don't know what the fuck he was doing, but now we got Bryce back. I think we're ready.
Well, listen, Alabama was playing with their food. They were a cat playing with a mouse last week. That's what they were. They almost got beat, but that's what they were doing. The thing about Alabama and Tennessee, and I'd love to see Tennessee be competitive. I just know Alabama. I know what Saban's about. Alabama, the games they lose in the regular season are never the big ones. They never lose to the team who thinks they're about to be the big. They never lose to 6-0 against 6-0. When they lose is when they go to Texas A&M and they keep their eye off the ball. They lose to A&M on an off week, or Ole Miss on an off week, or they lose to somebody that they're not expecting to lose to. They never lose this game. That's why I think Alabama is the play this week. Jason in Houston, thank you very much for calling the show and being a part of it. Thank you. All right, I have 2 calls. I have a bunch of calls. But here are my next 2. I have Josh in Missouri, and then I have JD in St. Louis. So JD in St. Louis now on deck. Josh in Missouri, go ahead.
Hey, Brandon, what's up? Second-time watcher, first-time caller.
Thank you.
I just have a quick question. How is Georgia ranked number 1 over Ohio State? It just seems like the AP poll likes to switch Alabama and Georgia back and forth willy-nilly, while Ohio State has a better defense and a better offense than Georgia.
Well, that's not true. But I would vote Ohio State number 1 as well. I would vote Ohio State number 1 right now. I would go 1 Ohio State, 2 Georgia, 3 Bama. But to say Ohio State has a better defense than Georgia is banana land. And that's one of the most insane.
Statistically, they do, though.
Okay, come on. But don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. All right? Statistically, yeah, a lot of things can say a lot of things. All right? I don't know that Ohio State's beaten Oregon 49-3 with their defense. Ohio State's defense has had the benefit of playing a lot of really, really piss-poor offenses so far. Is that the truth?
Yeah. Right, but I don't think Georgia's played anybody with the exception of Oregon that's, crazier than Ohio State's schedule. Yeah, Notre Dame isn't as good as people thought, but they've gotten back on track.
Again, I would vote Ohio State number 1 because – and not because of their defense. Their defense is fine, but once they play tougher competition, they're going to start giving up points and yards. But they have the best offense in the country, and they have the best offense in the country by a mile. They have the number 1 quarterback in the country. They have the best running back room in the country. They have the best receiver room in the country, and they might have the best offensive line in the country. So when it comes down to beating Ohio State, you're going to have to beat 4 of the best units in the entire country on their offense alone. So that's why they're the number 1 team in the country. Oregon is number 1 because they killed Oregon. That's the reason. I don't know if I wouldn't vote them number 1, but that's your reason. If they had beaten Oregon 31-17, Ohio State would be number 1 right now, but they didn't. They beat them 49-3.
I guess that's true.
No, it's true. It's true. There's no guessing. Thank you very much. I mean, it's true. Let's see what everybody says on the YouTube chat. Let's see. All right. People are just calling the Big Ten the Little Ten. Ohio State has not played a good defense? ? That's Jimmy, are you stupid? Are you high? I didn't say that. So they haven't played a good offense. These people around here. All right, our next call comes to us from St. Louis, Missouri. His name is JD. JD in St. Louis, go ahead.
Hello, Brandon.
Hello, JD.
How are you doing today? Today seems to be an awfully eventful day for you.
It's been a good day so far. I am going to dinner tonight. I'm going to enjoy myself. It's going to be a good time. It's been a good day. Has today been an eventful day for you? I've heard it might be.
I wouldn't say eventful. I did my job, and now I'm sitting at Safe Flight Repair, Safe Flight Replace.
Well, why are you sitting at Safe Flight Repair, Safe Flight Replace?
Because I had a cracked windshield. I had to get replaced.
It doesn't sound like it's loud in there, though. It sounds like a very pleasant place, or you must be in the lobby.
Yeah, they closed at 5. I told them I had to stay late to do this. I didn't tell them why.
I don't know that I believe that.
I swear, you want to talk to the guy sitting at the desk?
I don't want to talk to the guy sitting at the desk. Is he a pleasant fellow?
Yeah.
What are you going to have for dinner tonight?
Well, I'd actually not like to start with dinner. I do have quite a few questions, as always, as I would like to start. And I have plenty, so if there's anything that you don't feel like discussing, that's fine with me. I can move on.
Go ahead.
Well, first, so how excited are you for tomorrow?
What is exciting me about tomorrow?
It's your half birthday, you goof.
No, today's my half birthday.
I thought it was the 14th. Is today the 14th?
I was born on April 13th.
I thought it was 14th. My bad. Well, happy half birthday.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. Yeah, it's my half birthday. It's a big day for me. I'm now 43 and a half years old. That's depressing. Continue.
Well, so the reason I bring that up is because you're a wise man. So I want to know, does the Walker house, is there any like specific house rules that you all, that you instill in your children that, that's what happens to the Walker house?
Well, I think the best houses are run with rules, and you have to have a strict set of rules if you're raising children. However, I'm the worst rule setter and enforcer in the world. I just am just a terrible person and not very bright. So, there probably should be some rules. Really, the only rules are there always needs to be sweet tea in the fridge, and I need the PlayStation controller charged up when I get home. That's my rules.
Huh. Okay. So your kids just run rampant.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
Half of my kids run rampant.
A different question.
Yes, go ahead.
Let me ask you a different question. So what sort of punishments do you use to if something does go wrong, if someone does something they shouldn't, what sort of parenting techniques, what sort of punishments are you giving them?
I don't really like that question.
Okay. I'll move on to the next question.
Okay.
Do you have any artistic hidden talents?
None whatsoever. I mean, none. Zero. I can't draw. I can't paint. I can't sing. I can't play an instrument. There is nothing artistic I can do. I can draw one thing, and that is the logo to the Yak. I can draw a small starter home with a yard and a tree. That's all I can draw. Can't draw anything else. Can't paint. Can't sculpt. Can't sing. Can't do anything. You seem like you might have an artistic brain. What do you do? Well, different letter.
I have a couple paintings that I've painted myself, and my family doesn't believe that I painted them, but my initials are in the bottom, and they're hanging up in my office in my house.
You have an office in your house. Do you work from home, or do you just have a room that you call your office?
I have a flexible schedule, so I go in some days. I work from home others.
Do you work at Safe Flight Repair, Safe Flight Replace?
No, I do not.
All right. Can you send me one of your paintings?
No, I could send you a picture of both of them. They're one of ones.
Okay, well, you can't paint me a new one?
I mean, I could, but you have to tell me what you wanted. Yeah, we could work something out.
All right. Do you have any more questions?
Yes, I do. Do you believe in ghosts?
No.
Do you believe in aliens?
It's murky. It sure is a big universe, man. Sure is a big universe. Like, there's a lot out there. I don't know.
Okay. Do you like Brenner?
I love Brenner. Breakfast for dinner is one of my favorite things. I love hash browns, bacon, eggs. Yes, I love Brenner. Do you like Brenner?
Yes, I love Brenner too. Yes, it's one of my favorites. I hope you say that.
Brenner's amazing.
Maybe sometimes, not all the time. You have to be in the mood for it. Sometimes I do put peanut butter on top of my pancake.
That's insane.
No, I swear I do that.
Yeah, but syrup exists.
I'm not a big syrup guy.
How do you pancake without syrups?
I don't like sauces, so I've never had catsup. I've never had mustard. I've never had mayonnaise.
Okay,
I don't like those.
Okay, hold on. Stop. You've never had catsup. You never had mustard. You've never had mayonnaise.
No, and that's one of my ultimate fears, which is another question I wanted to ask you.
Why no mayonnaise?
Like white creams aren't my thing.
Oh, they're mine.
No, I can get tricked by like a Chipotle aioli every once in a while.
Well, aioli's just mayonnaise.
Yeah, I know, but it looks different. It's got a different name.
That's true. All right, continue.
Okay. I love Brenner. I'm so glad you like that too. Where I was going with that is, do you have any sort of like irrational fears like that, like being doused in mustard or mayonnaise?
No, but I do dream I'm losing my teeth a lot.
You dream of losing your teeth?
Yeah. I wake up and I count my teeth.
Okay. Those were the best questions I have for you. I could go on. Did you want to play that game that you mentioned yesterday?
I've got TJ going to order me a categories board, and we'll order you one and get it sent out to you so we both have the same board.
Okay, but there are virtual ones on the internet.
Yeah, but the internet. So you don't want a free board game? It's like $30.
I guess. My favorite game's Risk. Could you also get me Risk?
Think we can get him Risk? Yeah, we can get you. What if it's your favorite game? Why don't you have it already?
I play it on my phone. I want kind of like a chessboard of Risk that I could put in my office too. Assert dominance.
All right. Anything else?
No. Anything else you want to talk about with me?
No, I do have a bunch of callers today, so I'm going to move on to them. But I am going out to an Italian meal tonight. Could you tell me what to order?
Well, I don't eat really noodles at all, so I wouldn't be a good person to ask.
JD, I look forward to talking to you Monday.
I love you, Brandon.
Love you too. All right, 888-STOOL-22. I have the teeth dream. I also have a dream where I'm back in high school, even though I'm my age currently, and I am missing class. I'm missing class constantly, and I can't find the right room. I don't even know my schedule, but I just know I'm missing class. It's a terrifying dream.
Tomorrow's my dad's half birthday.
They're telling me that apparently dreaming that you're losing your teeth is a sign of stress. Well, so is your face breaking out. I mean, how many signs do you need? Sean in Maryland, go.
Hey, Brandon. 3 quick things. First of all, happy half birthday. You and I share the same birthday.
All right. Happy half birthday to you.
Thank you. Second, absolutely hammer Kansas +9 this weekend. I watched Jason Bean a lot last year, and he's way better than people are giving him credit for. I think Jaden Daniels is just that good. And then the last thing I have was a question. Is Brian Ferentz the worst offensive coordinator of all time, especially with his recent comments about changing quarterbacks?
Probably, yeah. Let me answer your question with a question. If Brian Ferentz's dad wasn't the Iowa head coach, would Brian Ferentz be the offensive coordinator anywhere in America? No.
Absolutely not. And I'm going to follow this up with another question. Could you ask TJ to spell my name correctly, please? It's S-E-A-N.
Well, Katie Stats is the speller of the names on here, and you're lucky Maryland spelled right. So you might just have to live with Sean. I mean, this is the best we're going to get out of Katie Stats. She doesn't care for the spelling. And in fact, Sean on the phone screen that TJ does, it was spelled. Oh wow, you actually spelled his name right. You never do that at all, ever. When did you start spelling words right?
Who are you talking to?
Katie Stats. I don't know. Okay. Maryland. I mean, she went to North Carolina. We can't expect her to spell words right.
Went to Mississippi State.
Well, not really.
What do you know about that?
Not really. We go to line 3. AJ is in Mississippi. Hello, AJ.
How's it going, Brandon?
It's good. What's up?
So, our dogs, Mississippi State, we're taking on Kentucky this weekend, and then we got a pivotal matchup against Alabama and Bryant-Denny.
Yep.
What do you think that Mississippi State has a chance to go into Bryant-Denny at all and win that game?
Do they? Okay, they do have a chance to go into Bryant-Denny. I've seen it happen a lot.
Yes, they do.
I don't think they have. I don't think we have a chance to win. Listen, I would love that to be the case. We've gone over there with better teams and lost. First of all, Kentucky scares me to death. I think we're probably going to lose this weekend. I'm terrified. But no, we haven't been close to Alabama. Like a lot of teams lose to Alabama. We lose by 40 to Alabama every year. So I just can't sit here and confidently say we're going to go into Bryant-Denny Stadium and win. And it makes me sick in my stomach even thinking that we have to play that game.
Yeah, I know. I'm probably going to be there, but it is what it is. But you said you were scared of Kentucky. What scares you about them? I think we're going to go there and win pretty easy.
I've said a lot negative about Will Levis. I just can see him throwing for 350 yards and 4 touchdowns. They are a good team. They're a lot better than they showed against South Carolina. And we went to Kentucky's better than LSU, and we went down there and lost. So I'm just scared. That's all. I'm scared. I've been here. I've seen this movie a lot, man. I've seen this movie a lot. 888 Stool 22. Whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paperboy, evening TV. Dun, dun. Waiting just around the bend. Everywhere you look, there's a hand to hold on to. Andrew in Missouri, go ahead.
Hey, Brandon. With all the really big weekend for ranked games, I want to throw out a couple of games for the college football sickos out there that'll watch any division.
Yep.
I don't know if this has ever happened before, but the Dakota markers this weekend, so we've got 1 versus 2 in the FCS and 1 versus 2 in D2 with Ferris State and Grand Valley. So I just want to throw that out there real quick. My main thing to call in for was this is sadly the last year of coastal chaos in the ACC before pod scheduling.
Yep.
And it's a doozy. As everyone expected, Brent Key and Mario Cristobal have the same wins on the season. It's been a couple of good weeks to be a hell of an engineer. I've felt joy for the first time in like 5 years.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering how you see this play out, because the way the schedules are making it look and the fact that Georgia Tech already got past Pitt somehow, this may be, I will admit, this may be a high from actually having happiness for the first time in a while.
Mm-hmm.
It could come down to Georgia Tech versus UNC to go lose to Clemson. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
I don't know if you've all paid attention to the ACC, but every good team in the ACC is just sitting over there in the same division together. Meanwhile, you got Pitt, Georgia Tech, Duke, North Carolina over there just having a rock fight. Although North Carolina is not bad, but he's right. And it's one of the underreported stories in the country. Georgia Tech looked like the worst Power 5 team in America with Jeff Collins. They fired him. They've won 2 games in a row. They've beaten Duke. They've beaten Pitt. And neither of those teams is bad. Neither of them is bad. Georgia Tech suddenly looks like they have a pulse. And the Coastal is wide open. Georgia Tech could win the Coastal. That could happen. We could live through that. That could be our life in 2022. A couple weeks after thinking they were the worst team in America, they have a chance to win their division because that division is crazy. Great, yeah. What do they call that school? The trade school on North Street, not North Street. State Street.
Trade school. The trade school on North Avenue.
North Avenue, yes, the trade school on North Avenue. By the way, if I'm talking to this guy, he is very smart because Georgia Tech is. You got to be a smart dude to get into Georgia Tech. I got into it. They wanted me to come, but I didn't go. Thank you. That's a lie. I did go. That's a lie too. Somebody says, wait, Katie is 6'1"? At least. I'd say 6'2". Is it 6'1" or 6'2"? 2, yeah, I thought it was 2. She's 6'2".
You gotta tell people if they ask you your height, Brandon.
Katie,
you want to sound cool.
Katie once beat up Jack McCarthy.
That is true.
Katie beat up Jack McCarthy. I need everybody out there to tweet this. Jack McCarthy, who is who's running our sportsbook accounts and everything, Katie beat him up. Bad.
Yeah.
He missed a week of work. Beat him up. They went out. It was right after the Barstool Christmas party last year. Everybody went out. Went to a bar, and then Katie beat him within an inch of his life.
Right.
Broke a beer bottle over his head, and then just got. It was a UFC, just forearm after forearm after forearm.
Right. And she switched to elbows too.
She switched to elbows. I believe there was a choke at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking, and nobody at Barstool got involved because she was crazy.
And we all hate Jack.
And we hate Jack. Jack McCarthy got beat up by Katie Stats.
Yeah, and no one cares.
(888) Stool 22. It was hilarious, if we're being honest.
Jack's such a pussy, so
he's the worst person I know. Preston in Alabama, go.
What's up, Brandon? How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. So I do just want to preface this, say I am a Bama fan, and I think Bama covers this weekend. But I do have a possible SEC, or I guess college football playoff scenario that I wanted to run by you real quick, get your thoughts on it.
Give it to me.
So what happens is Alabama goes into Knoxville this weekend, loses to Tennessee, and then Georgia ends up beating Tennessee, and then Bama beats Georgia in the SEC championship. What are the odds that 3 one-loss SEC teams make it into the playoff?
not very good, and I'll tell you why. Ohio State's running the table and going undefeated. They're in.
I agree.
If Clemson doesn't lose this weekend, they're running the table. They're going undefeated. They're getting in. And then you're going to have Big 12's probably out. Pac-12 will probably eliminate itself, but what if it doesn't? What if like USC or UCLA gets there undefeated? You're going to have to account for them. There might be too many spoons in the soup at the end of the playoff for something like that to happen. Also, I don't know. Let me think about this.
I will say it would take a lot of crazy shit to happen.
If Alabama can't beat Tennessee, can they beat Georgia?
I think that's a good question. You never know.
And I also worry if Alabama can't beat Tennessee, or are they going to roll through the West? Like they got to go to Oxford too. So I don't know. It's an interesting scenario and it's fascinating. But I'll just say this: the same thing could happen in the Big Ten. What if Michigan beats Penn State tomorrow? Penn State beats Ohio State. Ohio State beats Michigan. These are all fun scenarios. They never happen ever, but it is something to think about. Thank you very much. 888-STOOL-22. Did she choke him out with his own shirt?
Yeah, that's like a jiu-jitsu technique. You grab their shit around.
He was
their
wearing
neck.
A button-up shirt, and she ripped it off of him and tied it around and choked him out.
Right. She ripped the collar off and tied it around her own head like a ninja bandana. It was awesome.
And all because Jack said Duke greater than UNC.
Right.
And that was it. That's all it took.
Football too.
Yeah.
Not just basketball.
All right. 888-STOOL-22.
Had to be done.
I applaud you for it. I'm glad you beat up Jack McCarthy. Rich in Connecticut. Go.
Hey, Brandon. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, Rich. How are you?
Good. Big fan. My only question to you is, I haven't heard you mention anything about UCLA.
All right. I don't know that that's true. I just mentioned them in the call before you, but I don't think you can hear that. I haven't mentioned them as much as USC. What do you think about UCLA?
Well, I think they got a chance if they can get by Utah and USC. I think they have a chance. I mean, the quarterback, they have a very good quarterback.
Yeah.
He has experience, and I think they got a shot. I'm not saying that they'll make the Final Four, but yeah. I think they're definitely a top 10 team.
Oh, I agree. I think they're a top 10 team, no doubt. Chip Kelly has built this thing in silence. He's got a veteran quarterback. Charbonnet is an incredible running back. They're good. They're really good. They have a bigger game than USC, I think. They got to go to Oregon, Oregon is another silent assassin in the Pac-12. They're just sitting there with one loss. They were giving up on early, but that's going to be a huge game. I think the Pac-12 has 3 playoff contenders as we sit here right now. It's USC, UCLA, and Oregon. But Utah can mess up the season for everybody. Well, not UCLA because they already lost to them, but they can mess up USC. They can mess up Oregon. Pac-12 is low-key fascinating, and I don't know if anybody's talking about it as much as they should.
Well, I just thought that they might have a chance, and just wanted to hear what your comment was on them.
Also, I love UCLA being good because you forget how incredible those uniforms in that stadium are until they're playing in a big game. The other day when they were playing in that big game, I was like, oh, my God, this is just so pleasant to watch. And when I was growing up, like 1998, I remember when UCLA was 4 points away from playing for a national title. People forget that, but they were. Thank you very much. Last Saturday of 1998, craziest Saturday in college football history. Kansas State and UCLA, both seconds away from the national title, both lost. I think UCLA lost 49-45 to Miami in a game that was postponed by a hurricane. I really shouldn't remember things that well. That's troubling that I remember that. We go to Justin in Pennsylvania. Go, Justin.
Hey there. What do you think about Penn State keeping this game close against Michigan, and at the end, Manny Diaz pulls something slick to keep Penn State in the game?
Oh, I think Penn State will keep it within the number of Michigan. Not that I disrespect Michigan. I just think we don't know much about either of these teams, and 7 points is a wild number to slap on this game. J.J. McCarthy's never started a gigantic game like this. Could Michigan win? Yeah. Could Penn State win? Yeah. But I don't think 7 points makes sense to me. So I love Penn State to keep this game close. They've already gone on the road and beaten a Purdue team who is good. Purdue is good. And Penn State went out there and won. They went on the road, and I know they won, and the team sucks, but they went on the road to a raucous environment at Auburn. They've been in tough spots on the road, and Michigan hasn't played anybody near the caliber of Penn State. So I love Penn State to keep this game close.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.
Thanks. 8-8, still 22. All right. We go to Joe in New York. Go, Joe. Joe in New York. Joe in New York. Joe, New York. Nope. Waited too long. We go to Chris in Vegas. Go, Chris.
Yeah, hey, Brandon. All right, so I'm going to give out 3 picks right now for you. I'm going to give out Florida State over Clemson. I don't believe you're even going to need the points in that one. And I'm going to call out that Tennessee beats Alabama this weekend.
Why?
And then I'm also going to let you know that next week Alabama's going to be pissed off from losing this week, and they're probably going to destroy Mississippi State.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think they'll be pissed off from losing this week. And by the way, that little passive-aggressive thing you did at the end where you took a shot at Mississippi State was stupid, and we were having a good conversation. I don't like you, Chris. You're ugly. You're stupid. I don't like you. You got a bad face. 8-8, still 22. I don't think I have time to take another caller. That one's from Georgia, 678.
And the waitresses tried to pull Katie off.
They tried to pull him.
And it was big guy waitresses.
And the Barstool people were all, and we've been told not to put out the footage.
Right.
We were all just holding our phones up and laughing.
Obviously.
They tried to pull Katie off.
Yeah.
But when Katie turned around, and did she growl at Owen?
I think that she like swiped at him like a
swipe like a cat.
Right.
Yeah. It was rough. Yeah. I thought about going in there, but I was enjoying it too.
No,
much.
Yeah, you were laughing.
I was laughing. I was like, we toasted after that.
Yeah.
Casey was backing me up. She was in my corner.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was great. That was enjoyable. I really liked that.
Almost Christmas time again.
Did she do a touchdown dance after that?
Yeah.
She did the gritty.
She grittied on his dead body. on his fucking pulsating corpse.
She beat Jack McCarthy up. She choked him out with his own shirt, and then did the gritty out of the bar.
So embarrassing. Jack plays trivia in 2 minutes.
The dozen is next.
If you look faintly, you can see his healed, broken nose.
Well, that's just his Adam's apple. It looks like a nose. All right. 8-8, still 22. Oh, that's the number. The dozen is up next. The dozen with your mom against, I don't remember the name, the family. There you go. I'm coming next week to save the dozen. Don't worry. That's the show.